And good morning, everybody. It's time for your Farm and Ranch News. And today we're producing this program from the 2012 NILE Stock Show, which is underway here in Billings, Montana through tomorrow at the Metro Park. And one of the fun things to do each year is to kind of take a look around the parking lot to see how many folks from across our region and really the nation are in Billings this week for the NILE. Of course, we always see a lot of Montana and Wyoming plates, and our guest this morning is a Wyomingite. It's Scott Keith from the Wyoming Business Council, just back home. Scott, tough duties you have from Argentina. Tell us about your trip.
That's right. You know, Russell, it's good to be up here, but about 7,500 miles away from where I was last Wednesday. Came home from a week-long trip down to the southern part of the Buenos Aires province. Bahia Blanca is the city there in Argentina.
Now talk about the interest from the folks there in Argentina for cattle and cattle genetics from states like Wyoming and Montana, because we have a lot to offer up here.
We do. You know, when you look at the pedigrees of the cattle that are in Argentina, they look very similar to the pedigrees you see in cattle all over the western United States. One of the things that they look for is moderation in size and things like that. Also, a lot of the southern part of the country, the Patagonia region, is very arid and dry, very similar to Wyoming, Montana, you know, the western slopes, the western ranges. So a lot of genetic potential down there for us, you know, from the breeders in this country to provide some new things that they don't necessarily have.
And, of course, you traveled down there this time around, but it's always kind of fun to bring our friends from some of these international locations up here to Wyoming and Montana, too.
That's correct. You know, annually I try to bring people up to, you know, they come to the Denver, to the National Western Stock Show, try to get some tours around Wyoming. And I know working with, you know, people in Montana that also do an awful lot of that type of work where they're working with people from international genetics, just exposure from different places. So.
Well, it sounds good, and folks, don't go anywhere because we're going to talk some more with Scott Keith and the Wyoming Business Council about another fun program here at the NILE, the Merit Heifer Program. We'll do that right after this.
You know, it's funny. We've never talked about saving energy. But somehow, she just knew. Your Touchstone Energy Cooperative can teach you how to save energy and money at TogetherWeSave.com.
Tri-State and the region's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, providing affordable, reliable power today and for years to come.
Are you tired of buying puts and calls and watching these options expire worthless? Contact us here at Bauer Trading, where we try to take advantage of trades that sell or underwrite options where the premium is then given to the client. We use the team approach here at Bauer Trading, where we work with the clients on an individual basis in order to maximize strategy and profit.
Sellers of options are subject to margin calls and virtually unlimited risk of loss.
And as we continue our coverage this morning from the NILE Stock Show here in Billings, Montana at Metro Park, we're also continuing our conversation with our friend Scott Keith and the Wyoming Business Council. And Scott, before the break, talking about your trip down to Argentina, but also this morning we want to talk about probably one of the most unique scholarship programs in all of America for our young people, and that's the NILE Merit Heifer Program. This year, actually, a couple winners out of the Cowboy State, too.
That's correct. You know, that's one of the programs that's really gotten a lot of recognition in Wyoming. There's a lot of young people that are interested in the NILE Merit Heifer Program. Tremendous opportunity for them to, you know, get a chance to get started in the purebred business or in the cattle business, and really thank all the donors that provide cattle for that. A couple kids from Wyoming that are in it this year, Ty Paisley from Wheatland, Katie Keith from the Casper area. No, she's no relation to me, just good friends, is here this year, and I think they're going to do very well. They've got cattle. Katie's heifer was donated by Bob Pingetzer from the 6th Iron Ranch in Shoshone, Wyoming, and then the Hereford heifer that Ty Paisley has comes from Berry Herefords in the northern part of the country here. So really good program, and I think they're going to do really well with it.
Well, we certainly want to congratulate all of this year's recipients and, of course, the 2013 NILE Merit Heifer class in its entirety. Scott Keith with the Wyoming Business Council, thanks for stopping by. That's going to do it for now. Have a great afternoon.